Hi everybody, Shelly here. Thought I'd show you this double dip nail dip kit that I got off Amazon. Comes with pretty much everything you need minus one thing, but I thought I'd show you how I do my dip nails. So the first off is, file down your nails, clean up your cuticles like you normally would before you would do any manicure. Love the dip sets as it makes my nail color last so much longer. Anyway, step 2, apply a coat of the base, which is the red cap bottle in this particular set, and you just paint the entire nail surface like you normally would. If you do have artificial nails, you can go right below where the nail tip, all the way down to where the natural nail meets, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. The set that I bought didn't come with the clear powder, so I had to buy that separately, but I think it was $13.99. You don't have to do this step, but I like the way it made my base so much smoother on my particular nails. So after you paint the nail polish or the base coat in, you dip your nails in. It helps if you do it kind of at a 45-degree angle, and then clear off the powder, kind of brush off any excess powder that you have around the nail, and then let it kind of air dry for about 30 seconds. Again, you don't have to do this step, but it helps kind of just flatten out uneven surfaces and just cover any ridges. Repeat that same step on every nail. This is only the second time I've done this nail dip, but I was so impressed and excited about the first time I thought I would share it with you. So again, I'm just repeating those same steps on every single nail. Paint the coat of base polish on it, wipe off the excess around the skin, and then after about 30 seconds you lightly dust off the excess powder over the nail itself, and you'll repeat this on every single nail. I find that if I do one nail at a time, then that 30 seconds goes pretty easily and it's all ready to go. And I'm just demonstrating with a couple fingernails on each hand, so not to bore you guys. You get the gist. You don't have to see me do all 10 nails. Now we're dusting off the excess around the skin. I'm shaking a little bit because I think I've had a lot of coffee today. And then dust off the excess on the nail itself. And if you get any kind of ridges or bumps, it's really fine. You'll do some filing and cleanup work later on. Do your best to keep it off the cuticles though. All that polish, all that powder, if you can keep it off the cuticles as you go, you'll see me do that between steps. It's a good thing. So anyway, first base layer, 2 products. You've got the dip powder, the clear powder. Again, I bought that separately, again off Amazon. And then the dip kit that I bought actually had the base. Now, the kit that I bought had like 4 different colors in it. I'm going to do the light pink today because I think it's just really clean and spring-like. There are lots of different powder colors that you can get. The kit that I bought just came with 4 because it was a little bit of a smaller kit. So repeat like you did for the first phase of this. So you use the same base coat. And again, I'm being very careful just to keep it off my cuticle. The first time I did this, it was a little bit messy when I did it, and it kind of, I don't know, didn't work very well on my cuticles. As I've done this a second time now, recommend you do really thin coats because you're going to be doing several layers of powder and polish. And while it doesn't feel heavy on the nails, like sometimes if you do like acrylic nails, they can almost feel like your nail is suffocating. I feel anyway, which is the reason why I don't ever do them. This didn't feel like that at all, despite having multiple layers on it, but I think the next time I do this, I'm going to be paying careful attention to doing thin layers, especially of the base polish. So again, you do every single nail a base polish, followed by a dip, brush off the excess, and then brush off the excess off the nail. And I tried to kind of keep it over the container just to brush it sort of back in. If you notice, I've got a piece of like copy paper that I'm using just kind of as a mat. You will make a little bit of a mess. And the first time I used this, I used like a tea towel on my lap, and it was just like, there's still a lot of powder everywhere. So as you do your nails, they're going to seem really matte and almost chalky, kind of like if you were to take Smarties or Sweet Tarts or something and crinkle them all up over your nails. They just look like chalk. Don't worry about how that looks right now. You still have a long way to go before the end result. So again, base coat, dip, and then dust off, I tap off the excess just a little bit, and then dust off around the skin. And then dust off the nail. And repeat this for all 10 nails. If you're anything like me, I just can't keep nail polish on my nails as much as I love nail polish. This nail dip, I don't know how the long term it is, how good it is for your nails, but I really like the end results. All right, so interestingly enough, this isn't like normal polish where it's tacky right after you do it. This stuff is pretty much dry, and if you don't move quickly to clean up around the cuticle bed, you'll have a little bit of a mess later on. So I try to clean up around it as I go just to keep things as tidy as possible. The first time I did this, I wasn't so specific, and I worried about when your nail grows out, if it's still kind of on the cuticle and is that going to hurt? Is it going to rip your cuticle? My recommendation is just to clean up as you go and as quickly as possible, whether you do it after each coat or not. So now I am going to do a second coat, same exact thing like I did last time, a coat of base polish, again the red cap, and I think I'm putting on too much polish. I probably could have just done one dip in there. I just wanted to make sure I was coated really well. And then again, dip into the same color, preferably at a 45-degree angle, tapping off the excess, brushing off around the skin just to get as much, and again, I'm holding it back over the container so that I can save as much as possible. And then after about 30 seconds, go ahead and brush the nail itself off. So to recap, we've cleaned up the nails, we filed them, we push back your cuticles, you just, get your fingernails in pretty good condition. You do a base coat with which is the red cap. You do a clear powder, just, like I said, wait a second, then use a clean brush to sort of remove the excess powder. Then you do another base coat, entire nail surface, dip it into the color of your choice, wait a few seconds, clean it all off, and then repeat that step with another base coat, another dip into the color. And as you can see on this nail, there's a little bit of like a thicker section. It's not exactly smooth. There'll be a step here that we can clean all that up. So try to do the best you can to keep your nails smooth. It's crazy how quickly this is dry and after you've dipped in the polish and kind of cleaned it off. If you guys like these type of videos, let me know. Leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think. I'm not a professional nail technician. I'm not a professional makeup artist. I'm not a professional anything to do with fashion or beauty. But I'm a lady of a certain age and I have lots of experience and stuff, and I was so excited about this. I just felt like I had to share it with you guys. I had never done anything like this before. Didn't really know anything about it, but I had seen ads pop up on Instagram, and I know other people, that girl Shay XO, she's done dip nails or talked about dip nails before. I just didn't know anything about them. Okay, after you've done all 10 nails, you got to grab the yellow capped bottle. In this particular kit, it's an activator, and you do the entire nail You're supposed to let it dry for about 30 seconds. This goes on pretty matte. Like you don't even really realize that you're putting anything on the nail itself, but it is going to make that powder adhere to the base, and it's just going to lock it in place. It's like concrete after this. So this really is the most crucial step. And I have found that if I do one nail at a time, it's definitely got your 30 seconds in and then some. And you repeat that with all 10 nails. Now, I always make sure that these are capped tightly before I move on. The next thing you're going to need is a nail file or a buffing block. The nail file that came with this particular kit was very small, so I grabbed a different one that I have, and it's a pretty hard grain, like, I don't know, bigger grained emery board. Sometimes you just need the buffing block, and it's a little softer and a little easier to get in around the cuticles. But I basically go over all my nails just to make sure that there's no ridges, that there's no harsh edges, that they seem as smooth as possible. They don't seem very lumpy. But once you've got all of your nails sort of cleaned up, even that section where I kind of had that big chunk sort of hanging up there, just file it down as much as you can. If you work hard on this step and you put a little bit of effort into it, your nails will actually have really beautiful results. And if you look at it, they still look really chalky and powdery, if you've noticed. It'll get better, I promise. As you can see, I kind of bounce back and forth between the buffing block and the emery file, just because sometimes the section is a little bit easier to get around with the buffing block because it's like that sponge and it's super squishy. But sometimes you have just like a really stubborn area that you need a firmer, bigger surface. All right. After you are done cleaning up your nails, I kind of wash them off a little bit to get the excess on it, off of any excess powder off of it. And then you use a top coat, which is the blue cap bottle in this one. Again, do the entire nail surface and you let it air dry for about 30 seconds. Thin coat on all 10 nails, and you'll really start to see that gloss come through. I like to stabilize my fingers a little bit, especially if I've had too much caffeine. So I just grabbed the base coat to kind of stabilize and give my hand a little bit of a prop. I didn't have the camera angle correct here. Sorry, you guys. You get the gist of it. I'm just painting a clear top coat on the nails. After you have a coat of the top coat on all 10 nails, go ahead and apply a second coat of the top coat. Again, in this kit, it's a blue cap. I don't know other kits if they have different colors or if this is just sort of universal. I'm assuming they have different colors. The instructions just follow along with the color caps. And this is probably the longest time you have to wait, just making sure that top coat is dry. The kit that I purchased off Amazon came with a glitter as well as 3 different polished colors. They had different kits with different quantities of the dip powder, different colors, that sort of thing. And I think you can buy them individually as well. As a final step, I used the cuticle oil that came with the kit just around my nails once they were all dry, and my nails looked really healthy and pretty. The instructions are pretty easy. There is a warning, watch their video. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys like content like this, please leave me a comment down below. Otherwise, please subscribe, please ring the bell to get notified of future content. And you know what? I'm also available on Instagram at Shelly Tsunami. All right, you guys, until my next video, bye for now.